Most of us don't even realize, but the preference that we have in people has nothing to do with love itself, but more so to do with what we got used to growing up and what has been normalized in our body. Because the thing is, our nervous system remembers the atmosphere we were raised in, right? Our subconscious mind, our nervous system remembers it all. And this is where your masculine and feminine energy comes into play. Think of masculine energy as more about doing, the pushing, the hustling, believing that you need to constantly hustle for love, success, and validation. So let's say as a child you did not feel safe or seen, you are naturally more drawn towards hustle mode because somewhere inside in your psyche, you believe that peace is not safe unless it is earned. On the other hand, feminine energy is more about flow, trust, nurturing, and receiving. If in your childhood you were made to feel secure, supported, and allowed to let go of things, you will find it comparatively easier to surrender. But for most people, this is where things go haywire. Because relaxing, trusting, and receiving do not come so naturally in our culture, which glorifies hustle. We are taught to always give, to always push. But think about it, if everybody is going to just give and then there is nobody to receive, then the cycle just does not work. Both ends of the scale need to work for the energy to flow. Also, please understand that this is not about gender at all. It has nothing to do with gender. Whether you're a man, you're a woman, or a non binary person, you hold both the masculine and the feminine energies within you. True balance comes from knowing when to step into the masculine, which is about taking the action, building structure, and when to lean into the feminine, which is allowing yourself to receive, to rest, and to feel safe. Now, when these energies support each other, that's when healthy love and healthy relationships and manifestations come to birth. This is also why so many people find themselves drawn into relationships that don't really make any sense on paper. You've probably seen or experienced this in real life as well. Take for a situation when you genuinely like somebody, you would treat them with care, with patience, with respect. You would give them your literal best, right? But instead, they end up choosing somebody who does not even treat them right. And you're just left here wondering, why would they pick that person over me? And here's the thing that you need to understand. You do not need to change who you are, or you don't need to start questioning your worth if somebody does not chooses you. First thing, there is nothing wrong with you. The truth is, people often accept the love that they think they deserve. And on top of that, they're usually drawn to what feels familiar to their nervous system. So if someone grew up in a household where love was mixed with conflicts, with arguments or instability, then their body has been wired to equate chaos with connection unless they have worked upon themselves and learned to recognize their patterns, their traumas, and everything. So let's say if that is not the case, they're just going through life, then when they meet somebody who triggers the same stress response in their nervous system, it feels magnetic. It feels like a connection and it does not make sense on paper. And similarly, on the other hand, when they meet somebody who is calm, steady, and does not bring out the same nervous system activation, it might feel very unfamiliar to them. Not bad, just unfamiliar. Now, this does not mean that you should go and suddenly change everything about yourself or start playing games with this person or be less kind. No, not at all, not at all. This is simply about understanding human behavior. It is not about that I am better and that's why they did not choose me. It is more so about just recognizing that sometimes people are not in a place where they can receive calm, peace, and healthy love. Their system hasn't learned that kind of safety and, warmth. Also, the thing is that your body does not forget. It keeps a tab of everything. Like Dr. Bezel explains in his book, The Body Keeps the Score, emotions that were never processed, they don't just disappear out of thin air. They sit in your body in a way that you must have felt when you're stressed. Your shoulders feel heavy, grief can be stored in your hips, and fear tightens up your gut. So, when you meet somebody new, when you meet new people, the body is always scanning. Does this feel like what we already know? And if what we knew was inconsistency and chaos, that's what you will be drawn towards, even when it legit hurts you. And the hard part is, even when we promise ourselves that we'll never become the kind of person that hurt us, we still subconsciously often find ourselves in relationships with people that mirror the same pattern. It does not have to be as outright as physical abuse and stuff like that. It can be very subtle in ways. Maybe it shows up in the ways that your partner who will withhold affection or who would dismiss your feelings or make you feel small without saying much. Behaviors can change, but the emotional imprint on your body, that remains the same unless worked upon. So the real work is not just about spotting toxic people because they're everywhere, it's just about who you are allowing in your life. It is also about training your body and mind to recognize that peace, steadiness, and consistency are not boring. They are a form of love as well. And the good thing is, the cycle can be broken. The cycle can be broken, and you can start it with 4 simple steps. Number 1 is learn to recognize your body's signal. When you feel that intense, inexplicable attraction, just pause and ask yourself, is this inciting peace within me or is this mirroring my traumas? And trust me, if you will sit with yourself for maybe like some time, your body will give you the answer and you will understand the difference as well. Number 2, redefine love for yourself. Remind yourself that love is not always supposed to be a roller coaster. It can be healthy, it can be calm, it can be consistent. Write down what exactly would you want for love to feel like in your life. Number 3, and this is very, very important, which is that release your stored emotions. The body holds on to pain. Practice things like breath work, somatic therapy, or even some mindful moment that can help you release what's stuck so you wouldn't be pulled in by it. Number 4, choose consciously instead of instinctively. Attraction feels very, very strong. I am aware of that. But that does not mean that it is always right. Step back and ask yourself, does this person align with what kind of a love I am searching for? Something that I would want for myself? Or is this something that my body is used to? This is where you will get your answers. And I know it can feel a little tricky at the moment, but trust me, once you will get into the habit of understanding your body, your traumas, what you have been through, it will get easier. And with that, I will see you in the next video.